Yo.
Hey,
How's it going, buddy?
good. How about you?
Not bad. Welcome back, everybody. I believe we got episode 4. Andy's back again. Didn't get enough the first time. So yeah, little Saturday night podcast action going on. Blake is up in Lake of the Woods. I think he told me he took like 13th or 14th today. So
Oh, nice.
I think he said he was out of the top 6 by a half inch. So I mean, I think it sounded like they had fun. Got a big one. He got like a 28.5.
Is that a check or not quite? Just missed it
I
or
think
not?
he was like 2 out. They were 2 out of the check.
Shoot. That's so fun.
It's always easier to make a little bit of money when you're out fishing.
Or break even. Well, we never really
or at least break even, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounded like they had a pretty good day. I think he was up in northern Minnesota with the family all week and hammered some walleyes, according to the pictures that he sent me today. Yeah. So anyways, what have you been up to? How you been?
Good. Obviously, we met in Fargo today. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Had some lunch, got some tackle. I mean, you got more than I did. Yeah, that was swap the trolling motors, and that was cool. I tore into that thing tonight. That's going to be pretty sweet. So
it's always funny to go into Shields and like just see how much money you spend when you walk out of there.
Wow. I mean, you even looking at those binoculars today, and then the Vortex thermal rangefinder, like,
those. What are they? 6 hour auto stabilizing binos? Like those are just, I have a feeling there'll be a pair of them on the farm at some point here. Coming up. I don't know. They're pretty amazing.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I do for 2 seconds.
I know. I still do the strap thing on the back or whatever. I have the pouch in front. I haven't used it once. It's still brand new. And when you like hold them up and like this, and I like try to keep it tight so it's not down, on my stuff. And when you hold them up, like it's hard if it's windy or something because they shake. With that strap on there, the straps will like blow in the like a harmonica kind of thing. Like those things. Oh man, it's.
Well, just a little bit that we looked through them, you could tell I think it probably does away a little bit with the spotting scope aspect of it.
Yeah, because spotting scopes, if they make one of those that don't shake, that would be a game changer.
I know, but are you gonna lug that up 5 miles up the mountain? Like I know
I didn't even like
it
in my truck. No, I just think that and that Vortex rangefinder, that would be an interesting tool, but some legality issues there. But what is it?
What are you talking about?
It's just a handheld rangefinder, like a normal one, but it's thermal. So like my Vortex rangefinder, I can't get the settings for the light down low enough. So when it's dim or low light, the red lights, I can't see what I'm ranging, and like I've had the black. Yeah, and I've had the black ones before, with the black reticles, but then if it gets dark, you can't really see what's going on either. So it's like the thermal's the best of both worlds.
Well, I know last year we were messing with your Vortex rangefinder, and in the highlight, like lots of sun, you can you got to have that brightness almost all the way up. It's just so you can pick it up.
Yeah, I switched that, and now it's too bright. And I can't get it back to dim, but if daylight, it's worthless. So it's like, I don't know if that thing's messed up or what. It's got to be better. But
no, I think mine's like that too.
So it's like, it's not, I don't know. I wish it would I wish it would go from like, and this is gonna sound ridiculous, but like the Garmin Live Scope, when it switches the screen at sunset, it
Yeah,
knows it's like
wow,
that would
dude,
be
that
sweet.
that there has to be that capability out there, and if there
Yeah.
isn't, I mean, what else is new? I mean, but what's different about this one though? It's thermal. So how's that
Well,
gonna
so it's
work?
obviously illegal, but I mean, it'd just be nice to have the range capability last 5 minutes, which we never really talked about the bottom of the ninth thing that I wanted to talk about, but
Yeah.
I guess we could segue into that. But like, the last 5-10 minutes when it's just really dark and you can see them with your naked eye, but then you put that up and it's so bright and you can't range them. Well, it's pointless at that point. It's like I can still see my pins and the deer, but I can't see what range I'm at, or you're missing.
Yeah.
We kind of had that in the hawk blind a couple years ago when I was trying to range them. Remember, and it was last light
Oh
and
yeah. Oh
I don't
yeah.
whatever, but it was my fault because I'm just like, I don't know, dude. it's too hard to range her.
Oh,
So
that was on the when I slung one over her back.
yeah, yep. And
Yeah.
it's like I couldn't range it. I just couldn't. I mean, it was too bright on the reticle. So but
But yeah, bottom of the ninth, like, what are you talking about? The
yeah,
full
so like
commitment?
yeah, it's just the addiction and the full commitment. Like a lot of people will quit, at sunset or 5 minutes before legal's done. I'm talking fishing and hunting. We're like when we fish the river and we stay, we got to grind out that last cast,
Oh
or
yeah. You might catch
like
5 of them in 2
yeah,
minutes.
and like I mean, I remember when I met Jerica in South Dakota when she was going to school in Wyoming, and we met on the Missouri, and it was like the only place there was ice on the whole river. And we went out and we didn't catch a single walleye till it was dark. And it was like, why are we still here? And we just kind of were hanging out. And as soon as it got like pitch black, it was boom, 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 one after another, 17-inch walleyes. And it's like, these people that leave,
You would have missed
most people
it.
would leave. Yeah, they would have missed it, never known, because we had never fished there. And it's like, even with deer hunting, like how many bucks have we shot the last 5 minutes? Like you
Oh yeah.
can't, I never leave. I always leave later than I should as opposed to earlier. And it's just like some people don't really care, but the last 5 minutes can be your most successful time.
Well,
It's
yeah, and then we've been burnt. How many times have we been burnt like Devil's Lake or something where,
oh yeah.
well, you never know, and then we stay 2 hours after dark. And
Oh,
don't
the
mark
chisel
a
one
fish.
where it was -10 and then it dropped to like
That was,
-25 in like half an hour and we stayed and oh my god,
I
that was
think that was
so
the worst. Didn't you drop the buddy heater or something down the
yeah,
hole or the
I had a
sunflower
double
head?
I know I had a double sunflower and one of the sunflower heads popped off and went down the hole. And it was so cold in that tent that I just looked at it and watched it go. I didn't even try to grab it because it was so bad. And I'm like, nope. And then I dropped my grandpa's chisel on like we were packing up. I'm like, I'm not touching that thing because it burned through my chopper mitts, when
I
you
remember
grab
you
it.
said, yeah.
And then
You are you can handle a lot of things, but get cold ain't one of them. How
I
many
hate it.
times that I've had, I'm done. Gloves off in the pickup.
Oh yeah, dude. Like that one year I went with Zach Carnes, I took him up to a lake, crappie fishing, and in the summertime I have my truck on low air conditioning nonstop all summer. And in the winter it's on high, full throttle heat. And we were driving up there, he's like, Jesus, dude, you got this thing blazing in here because I got it 110 degrees. I'm like, isn't it great, dude? Just,
Don't touch the
so
fan. Don't touch that fan speed. I love the heat. I love the
I mean,
heat.
it's just like like when you're deer hunting and there's 5 minutes left and your hands are so cold where you're gonna basically tear up when you get into warmth because the
Yeah.
pain, like, but you still sit that fight. Like that's what crazy people do, and it's helped me be successful. But I mean, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't. So I can see why people don't. But that one time, it's that one time that you want to, maybe have it
Well,
change your
like
luck.
we were talking earlier, when you were talking to your buddy back home about floral leader onto a braid, and like you love going straight braid. I don't lose any fish. I can bassmaster them. And I don't lose them. And I don't understand why people use the floral. And I use the floral too. And your buddy told you if it catches you one extra fish, it was worth it, right? Just like that that when you push through the extreme cold or whatever it may be and
Yeah.
stick it out, if it works one time, you'll probably do it every time.
Yeah, just helping your odds in your favor. Like, yeah, I mean, I get it. It's hard sometimes, man, especially towards this end of the season or end of a long day of fishing or whatever, like to stay that extra 5-10 minutes when you want to be home. But it's like, man, I've had a lot of success that I've seen people leave and they missed it because they left. It's just.
Well, I think my whole life being buddies with you, Andy, we've never quit anything before it's pitch dark normally. And then we normally grind it out. And when we get back to the pickup, most of the time we're like, yeah, we should have quit an hour before that. But there's that one time. You remember over here a couple years ago, 10 years ago? Spring break when we caught all those walleyes in the wintertime.
Yeah, they didn't bite till dark.
We didn't have a bite.
And we got out there, I think we got out there like 2:00 early or something, like excited.
I don't even know if we marked the damn fish, dude.
I don't think we did. And then all of a sudden it got pitch black and it was.
Yeah, we spread out. We were 300 yards apart, 200 yards apart. And I look over and you got 4 flopping on the ice and still and reeling one in. And I got 3 and I'm reeling one in.
Well, remember we had tip ups out. We had like 6 tip ups out and we were each jigging a line or whatever. And then none of the tip ups were just locked down, welded down per usual, like a Minnesota tip up. And then next thing you know, we look over and the line is between us of tip ups and they're all up. And neither one of us move because we both want to keep jigging them, and then we go over and get them finally. And it's like, why do we even put these out?
We just knew that lake is the last. You didn't need to get there at 3.
No.
You could get there an hour before, set up. But that was pretty great fun for a couple days on a whim. I mean, remember where we first went over to Spiritwood and we didn't mark a fish, didn't catch a single fish.
Yeah.
And weren't we eating at the bar or something? And the
Courtney,
like,
the Courtney bar.
I got a perch there in December. That was this big. Like,
yeah, it's on the wall. Yeah, you got it on there. Yeah.
and then so we go over and check it, and it was.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
It's just the bottom of the ninth, though. If we would have left, it'd been like.
We'd have never known. We'd have never probably fished it again. I mean, it's crazy how that works. That's the big thing to take away from it is like, yeah, it sucks to grind it out, but man, if I had the mentality of leaving early, I wouldn't have a lot of the stuff that I have on my wall, because and it sucks, dude. It sucks. I mean, no human wants to go through it. You don't want to sit there any longer than you have to. I get it, but
you're
can
frozen,
change like that.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah.
No, I mean it's definitely a thing, dude. Like we're getting ready. Casey Duty and I are leaving on Friday or Monday, and we're going up to Sakakawea for the North Dakota Governor's Cup. So we got 3 days of pre-fishing, and I told him like, it's a giant lake. Neither of us have been on it. Like we might be the first 2 days of pre-fishing. If it's light out, we might be on that water.
All day.
It could be brutal, but there's just so much water to cover that, and there's so many unknowns. And I mean, I don't know. I imagine we'll start shallow somewhere and just kind of work our way out and see. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a fun week. That's what kind of the Fargo run was today. Was meet you, deal with swap some trolling motors, have lunch, and then I spent a lot of money on all the new tackle items that everybody has. We even bought do you have any of your dice baits down here?
No, they're out there. No, they're in
I got mine over. Yeah, we even bought the dice baits, which is they're like a fuzzy bait, or they call them a koiki or whatever.
Yeah, urchin, I think some people call them.
Urchin, yeah. I don't know how they work or what, but we're gonna try them. I know. I was just talking
I was talking to Jordan Piskey about this the other day. I'm like, last year was majority spinner pulling, and then I got into some plastics a little bit, but I mean, I caught a decent amount on plastics, but I was doing it the same way as like a jig crawl in deep water, whatever, like targeting them with it as opposed to like kind of shallow water casting weeds. But anyway, I was like, yeah, dude, I got on these plastics and like, I'm just trying to get every tool in the chest, that's my goal. Like I tied on a slip bobber the other day, which I mean, it's a slip bobber, and Ellie was hammering them with it, which was cool to see. But it's like, you want to have all the tools, and if you don't, like the jigging wraps, I love the jigging wraps, but like just even that urchin thing, like I'm gonna try that. Why? Who knows? What if they see it and they're like, "What's that?" Boom, like
Well,
I
I
don't know how
think
they're gonna react.
I was watching the NWT live stream when they were in Bay de Noc, and they had a cameraman with Jaden Wendo, who's from Valley City, young kid, and he's kind of changing the name of the game. And when it comes to tournament fishing walleyes, there's a few big, like great stick fishermen that are under the age of 20 on that tour right now. And I'm slightly jealous of them, but I noticed on one of his live streams, he had one of those on a drop shot. Like, and I suppose you just can pull it back, but then like that DC Fishing, the guy that I watch on YouTube, Big Bass Guy, he's like like jerking them, like pretty aggressively jigging. Yeah. Snap jigging or whatever. So I don't know. I'll probably try one next week. I mean, I get to be on the water for 5 straight days. So I imagine I'm going to huck it. I'm going to try the new Berkeley Lab series. I got some of them. I went.
It's just kind of crazy because I was talking to Latola today a little bit, and I'm like, our buddy Jordan Latola, shout out Jordan, and so he's like, he's always been a crankbait puller or whatever, which is what I grew up on, pulling crankbaits or spinners a little bit, and like it's just crazy how the game has changed to bass fishing for walleyes. And it's like, and he's like, I'm like, Jordan, once you get the scope, like you're gonna change your brain, dude. It's gonna be, because we were talking about maps a little bit tonight, and I'm like, dude, I haven't looked at a map, and my little small lakes I'm fishing and stuff doesn't matter, but I'm like, the scope is my map. But these different lures said, like, dude, I never used a slip bobber for walleyes till 2 years ago with you or whatever, or like a plastic.
Yeah, or just a simple jig crawl or snap jigging a Z-Man, back in the day, which obviously Jensen is kind of the one in our group of friends that started that. I mean, he's been fishing plastic. We talked about that today. Jensen's been fishing plastic before scope was even a thing,
Yeah, he's the OG. Yep.
I mean, when you despise live bait that much, you probably
and I get it, dude. Like the other day, I'm out there and like I catch them on a plastic, and I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to try a crawler because it's just a different bite and it's kind of a good feel. And I'm like, and then you thread 3 crawlers on, and there's no sunnies in the lake or anything, but it's like I'm sick of threading these things, like back to the plastic I go, and like I know what Jensen's talking about now,
Well, like you said, you do the super glue trick, slide your Z-Man on, super glue to the jig head, and what, you can cast all day, every day, and not touch that thing for a couple days.
The one on my 6-foot rod has been on there for 2 weeks now. Haven't changed the hook or nothing. Like it's just
haven't changed the plastic even.
No, dude, it's the same one, and it's been like, dude, it's been work. I've caught a lot of walleyes on it, but it's like, you talk about these different baits and stuff, and like the one of the 30s I caught when I don't know, I was probably 12. I've sent you the picture of it, but that my grandma cut the tail off in the picture. But that was on a floating Rapala that was like 8 inches long, in 5 feet of water in what they call Shit Creek, and it's like, we were casting for northerns, but that kind of goes back to the in the weeds shallow, and that was the dead of summer, dude, the dog days of summer, but there's cold water flowing in from that creek, so all the northerns love it, and I assume the walleyes do too, but I never really thought about that as a kid.
What's kind of funny is like Jason Mitchell had a post on Instagram or something the other day, and he's like, it was something about that one of the Devil's Lake tournaments up there, and it was like you had to have 30 pounds to be in the top 10, which like those are crazy weights. Like Devil's Lake 5, 6, 8 years ago before live scope, like 20, 25 pounds is a fantastic bag. Now 20 pounds doesn't get you in, like you're not cashing a check, or whatever.
Crazy,
and he was talking about how because of forward facing sonar, we're learning a crazy amount about not only walleyes in general, but big walleyes. And normally they're not doing what the little walleyes are doing. And normally they're not in the same spot. Normally they're not anywhere where you would think. I mean, how many times have we talked about throwing out suspended walleyes and you're like, I swear I could get one on a top water jig or something,
or a bass
like
spinnerbait or whatever.
Like whatever.
The other night I was out, and like there's some buffalo on this lake that I'm on, and like or whatever, they're like carpish fish, and you can see them swimming right at the boat, right at the top of the water. Well, I saw a big mark a foot from the top, and I'm like, there's no way. And it was just sitting there in 10 feet of water. I'm like, there's no way that's a walleye. And of course, I just cast at it because I'm just
Why
checking it
not?
out. And dude, my plastic went over the top of his head, and I could see it on the scope. And I dropped it right in front of his face, and it was bang, just crushed it. And I'm like, no way, that's a walleye. But I would have never thought there was a walleye a foot from the top. Like just hanging out there. Like that's crazy to
Oh
me. But
yeah. It's and
it's
like
cool to see.
I've heard from over the last couple of years really getting into walleye fishing. I've heard numerous people talk about walleyes don't always just live on the bottom, contrary to popular belief. Like everybody used to think that you catch walleyes on the bottom, and you can, but you can definitely catch them up water column too. I mean, it's actually preferred if you listen to a lot of these guys, like even Jaden Wendell in his live thing on the NWT was talking about like a lot of the fish on the bottom are smaller walleyes or maybe bait fish or whatever. And he's looking for the fish that are 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 feet off the bottom. And generally when they're up there, you can normally get them to bite a lot of the times anyways,
Well, it's no different than like spearing. Obviously, we played that game for quite a while, but like you think about fish can't really see down, and like if you always raise the sucker, the red and white higher because if those fish are a foot off the bottom, they can see up, and like it's the same concept where they want to look up, so you're better off jigging it above them typically, or to get them to see it anyway. And like it just makes sense, like if they're 3 feet off the bottom, you better be higher than that or they're not going to see it. If you're below them, they're not going to see that.
It's actually funny you bring that up because if you listen to like Tom Wynn, he's a big jig crawl guy and he always lets them eat it off the bottom. He'll drop it so they can see it. So he'll cast, like normally we cast behind them and pull them over and pull it up. Like that's what everybody does, right? His theory is why have them look at the boat, which I kind of never thought about it like that. So he would cast, drop it in front of them so they see it, make them pick it off the bottom. That way they're never looking up at the boat. And like, I don't know about you, but like around here, there's a lot of water that's clear, clear as can be.
It's getting more and more every year.
They can 100% see the boat. Like,
I'm just saying, like, if you have a fish here and you drop it behind him and you're pulling this way, if it's below him, odds are good he's not going to see it. Like
100%.
They're getting up, like especially if it's fish is 3 feet off the bottom, and think of non-scoping. So you don't know that he's 3 feet off the bottom. If you pull a bottom bouncer by him, he may never see it, or whatever. So it's like you want to get their attention up and then maybe bring it like that. I tried that the other day and boy, was that something, putting it on the bottom and they can't resist. If they don't bite it on the snap jigging, I would just drop it to the bottom and the fish would disappear and I'd just be like, I just reel in a little bit and I'd feel it on there and just give it to him.
That was with the crawler. That was with the plastic.
Plastic. So
really,
dude, it was pretty incredible.
I caught Judy and I were out a couple days or last week, right before the 4th of July, and I caught 3 good ones, like 20. I think two 27.5s, and one was like a 26.5 or something like that, and they were all 3 on a blue chrome jigging wrap. Which, again, shout out Pisky. I know he loves that. But it is getting to be that type of season. Like, don't get it twisted. I will have probably at least 2 finishers and at least 2 jigging wraps tied up for Sakakawea next week. Like that will definitely. I mean, jig crawl's obviously going to be pretty high on the list too. And then obviously what was the Z-Man flavor that I got today that's like a kind of like a smelt color, like the electric shad I like, and then there was one other one that we like
a smelt colored one, or it was like can't remember.
I don't know what it was called. I gotta look, but those will be going on. Some of them will be going on too. So I mean, I just hope that the big ones want to play. I mean, it's gonna take like 25, 30 pounds a day.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you'll get into it. I mean, just the swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Anyway,
what are you talking about when you say that?
So last year when I fished with you for the first time with your new trolling motor, and we went to a lake and we're trying to cover ground, and like, obviously my boat, I bought it from you. It's not your boat, and just. When I got to the front of the boat and you dropped the trolling motor and you're like, "Are you ready?" And all of a sudden, you got the deucer on the motor, so you're going full speed 10, swoosh, swoosh, back and forth like 135 degrees, just looking for fish. And I'm like, this is crazy. And now every time I'm in the boat and I'm scoping, I'm thinking like, because I don't have a motor that can do that, or a boat really, but just every time if I go like left and right with my motor for whatever reason, because my foot gets wonky or whatever, they can swoosh, swoosh back and forth. It's just like this, or I don't know. It's just great. It's funny, but God, what was I gonna say about the jigging wraps? I don't remember, but yeah, dude, it's just about getting different, different. I mean, I like the jigging wrap too, but some of these lakes,
well,
they're
you
so
loved the
shallow.
jigging wrap last year.
I do, I know, but like if you're fishing, like the other night when I was there and like the trees were by shore and it was like shading, and like I told you, they were in 3 feet of water with 83 degrees, like you can't cast a jigging wrap. And even the little crappie ones I have that I've used in shallow water, like you can't cast it because by the time they see it, they're fast, but they're not going to be able to catch up to it and crush it before it hits the bottom and some weeds, or a little bit of weeds on the bottom. So it's like, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, shallow, definitely not like the shallow.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think Jordan uses them shallow, somewhat shallow, I think. But
I mean, I'll use them in like 5 feet early in the year when the weeds are down, but it depends on how close you can get to the fish too. If you can't get real close to them, then
all
your
three of mine
angle
went straight vertical, 9 feet of water, which is crazy.
Yeah,
but when we got onto
fun.
that lake, never been to it, that lake, you could tell it was like muddier water. I wouldn't call it muddy water, but it was dark. And we must have caught 5 or 6 straight vertical in like 8 or 9 feet of water, sunny out, 90 degrees out. Like they should have been able to see us. And
you remember me on Spiritwood last year in your boat, or was it 2 years ago when I was vertical jigging with the helix off the back of the boat? Like, oh, I love that.
Well, that was right. That was bottom of the 9th again too, if I remember right.
Dude. Yes, it was. We should have been off the lake already, but I couldn't stop, and I'm glad I didn't, because I caught a couple like that. That was fun, dude. But do
you remember on dry 10 years ago when we were like, you're like, yeah, we gotta wait it out till dark. And I'm like, you always want to fish till dark. And it was perfectly calm. And then as it started getting later and later and later, it started getting a little blustery and it started getting windy. Yeah, with your boat now.
Saw that right. Oh, really? I can't. Oh, when you had
when we went out on the north side and the janky pretty much off the road.
I almost got to tell the story because we had never used that landing before, and it was kind of a shittier landing compared to the other one. Yeah. And I don't know why. We were just too worthless to go around, and it's like 2 more miles.
Think we wanted to drive all the way to the other side or drive the boat across.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, and then and then so the wind was blowing straight in, and I remember I don't know if you backed it in or I backed it in.
You did.
It was a nightmare, and you were out in the boat. Yeah, and mosquitoes, and you were like, and you tried to get it, but you couldn't get it straight, and you got just soaked. And I remember crawling up on the truck tire and then going on the topper or like the bed and going to the back, and I cranked it up. And I remember I got one little splash of water on my shoe, and I'm like, oh shit. And then you were just fit to be tied, and you got in the truck, you're like, did you get soaked too? And I'm like, oh yeah, dude, brutal. And then what was it, a couple of years later, I told you I never got wet at all. Oh man, that was funny.
Dry, dirtball.
Yeah. Oh man, that was funny. Yeah, I'm a jerk. Oh man.
What are we gonna talk about over the next couple of weeks? We should maybe touch on some of that, huh?
Yeah, we kind of went through the tournament stuff a little bit, unless you want to do that more. But I was thinking a little coyote thermal.
Yeah, we're both big coyote hunters, but Andy, like normal hunting practices, takes it to
the
extreme 4 or 5 nights a week. Absolute. How many you and Jensen end up killing this last winter?
I think it was 115 with all of us. Like we weren't always together, but like between him and me and Grant or whatever, it was 115, I think. So it was
a pretty good winter.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Did a lot of them around. Still?
Oh yeah, it's just crazy because like I went out a couple weeks ago and I actually killed 4. I should have killed 5, but it's crazy because they howl every direction all around you, and you're like, you kill that many. I mean, obviously it's a big area. We're hunting miles and miles and miles, but to hear that many separate dogs all around you is just like, I had no idea there were that. I mean, I'd hear them howl when I deer hunted, whatever, but you don't think there are that many. But like when you're hearing them every direction, 360 degrees in some spots, it's like, this is crazy, man. Like I don't think people understand it. And I always told Jensen, I'm like, oh, I think there's more dogs than deer, and he might be believing it now because it's crazy. Like it's crazy.
You think that is true? You think, or like, what's your opinion on? I mean, it's probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but
I think in some areas, like up to the northwest where we hunt, I bet you there are more dogs than deer. Because the deer aren't it's more flat and like no cover and we kill a lot of. I think there are more dogs up there, but like where I hunt deer, probably not. I mean, there's a lot of deer, but it's just like you can kill. And I read this thing about that. Each coyote kills 19 fawns a spring, which I don't believe that, but even if it's two,
yeah, or even one.
Yeah, so let's say it's two for the sake of argument. We saved 230 fawns, by killing those 115 dogs. That's crazy, So it's
I don't know. Got to imagine that they're killing at least one or two, aren't they? Or not?
Yeah, oh yeah. I was out in my northeast food plot the other day, like a week or two ago, and there was literally a chunk. Had to be a fawn, dude. A chunk of meat this long, like probably 10 to 12 ounces of meat, and it was like that light color. You know what I'm saying? Like looked like fawn meat, basically, like veal almost. And I'm like, dude, coyote probably killed one, drug it off, and forgot the piece of meat or whatever, and there were flies on it and stuff. But I was like, damn, that's fresh. It had to be from a coyote. Or from a fawn,
A fawn, yeah. I mean, that would probably be the most logical explanation. But like other times too, it's like, how many times have you been deer hunting in the last 20 years where a coyote completely boogers the whole thing up?
Yeah, dude. It's
even if they're not actively chasing a deer does not want any part of a coyote, doesn't want nothing to do with it, at least in our experiences. For the most part, the deer aren't really sticking around, or they get extremely alert, and yeah, they're a problem. I got about I think we were planting corn and I saw one across the road from my grandpa's in the trees, and I parked like 600 yards away and I was watching it, and that thing did not care about me. Then like 2 weeks later, I saw it again. Then a couple weeks ago, Grandpa saw her walking down the prairie road in between my place and his place, and like the last 3 or 4 nights now, you can hear them, all the pups over there. There must be 4 or 5 or 6 pups, and they're right across from Grandpa's mailbox. Like,
let's go.
And you can, yeah. Spence is like, I got a great idea. I'll load up the buckshot and we'll just go in there and start gunning. And could you do it? Could you kill a puppy?
100%. The puppies grow into. It's like, yeah, puppies grow into.
Even evil. If it's like an 8-week-old.
No, I don't know, dude. It's tough, but it's like at the same time, I kind of want a little puppies, as sadistic as it sounds. Maybe mount a couple puppies. That'd be kind of cool, like just have them. Like, who has that? Like I don't know. It's that what they turn into and what they end up doing, dude. So it's like, it's tough for me. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't target them, but if they came running,
I remember like 10 or 15 years ago, I was driving around one night and I saw north of the farm here, I saw puppies, and I was literally leaning up against the hood of the pickup, and I had them at like 60 yards with the 22, and I could have wiped the entire family out besides the mother, and I couldn't do it. I could not get myself. And like, think about the fawnage you're saving there if you're walking 8 or 9 of them at one crack.
Yeah, it's like, and Jensen and I always joke about fresh ears, getting the, so maybe, it's more fun to kill them as adults. So it's like, let's let them grow up, and then they're kind of stupid, but
the thing is like, I could, 100% get your side of the argument. Like, they once they start growing up, they get smarter and they get harder to kill. And let's say there's 8 puppies that you could have killed, and all winter long you only got 5 of them or whatever.
Yeah, hold on here. I got to look at this text that Latola sent me earlier about Utah. I think it was. Right here. they're paying $100 per coyote in key mule deer habitat. So since the program began in 2012, Utah has already paid out more than $4 million for 82,000 coyotes. So I would have made we would have made $11,500 last year if that was the case, just from killing dogs. Like
how
they're a
much are they
problem.
paying?
$100 a dog. So it's like, I mean, that's pretty sweet, So
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
if you could dump 8 puppies for a quick $800, I suppose it would maybe. I mean, I don't know.
It's hard though, because like a lot of people are against it, and I get that, and now they're starting to ban coyote hunting tournaments in some states, and like
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, there's a couple states that have already passed it where you can't have animal killing contests or whatever, and it's just like, dude, if you knew, like, look at that one last October. Remember when I got there, or we were doing something, and I talked you into going out back with you were basically in your pajamas. I'm like, come on, Dustin, let's just try one right behind the house here, and that big male. I mean, how far was that? A couple hundred yards from the house.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, maybe we got to check these things once in a while or whatever.
Well, I mean, you can't be having yard coyotes.
Yeah,
I mean, last year my wife, she had 54 chickens and ducks killed in the chicken coop, I believe. I think it's like 54 or 52. And like, I can't be letting that happening underneath my nose. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
That's,
dude, it's
I
a
mean,
problem.
that's embarrassing, borderline.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, there's a time and place for it. Obviously, we've kind of taken it to a different level, but nobody's gonna. Most people that are outdoorsy and care about deer, which I'm sorry, deer are priority, turkeys are priority, things like that. They're not gonna complain about it. Yeah, like it's not. It just is what it is, man. Like I don't want to see all coyotes eradicated because I kind of like it. It's fun, but at the same time, I didn't realize how many there were. And I don't think you do until you thermal, like even day hunting, you're not going to see or hear what you see thermal hunting. And it's like, there are so many dogs.
Well, thermal hunting too, like it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like this all the time, but it's almost weird to not see one at almost every stand. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And they're going to behave, because they normally don't. They like to go downwind and circle around, and they're unpredictable, and they're the Wile E. Coyote, right? But how many of them are out there do you go out in a night, and let's say you hunt 8 stands, you're probably more often than not seeing dogs at 6 or 7 of them.
Oh, least. Easily, dude. Like most of the time you're seeing 2, 3 a stand, and you just,
it's kind of weird to go out and not, like, if you know you got a great spot that you haven't hunted for a while, let's say you haven't been there for a month, or maybe you haven't hunted at all yet. It's kind of weird if you don't see one, and like the thing is about it is, like, you got to remember, if you do go to a spot and don't see one, don't forget that spot, and the other thing is I have killed so many coyotes in spots that I thought that there was no way in hell we were seeing a dog. And we'll kill one at 15 yards. Do it completely
I think it's like later in the night, the spots that you think are bad become better because they're out traveling. You know what I mean? Like if you start right at sunset, they're cruising a long ways, I think. I mean, we've seen them come from a mile, they're little, white dot a mile and a half away, and all of a sudden, a minute later, it's on you. It's
Jensen and I think Spence was with us, and Gavin, Jensen's boy, was with us, and we were out in South Dakota, and they were 2 miles away. And I'm like, just watching them, I'm like, gosh, like the tiniest specks that, like, it was kind of hard to believe that you could even tell that it was
like one little pixel in the scope.
Yeah. And I just swore to God that they were running as fast as they could right at us. And I just kept watching them. I'm like, finally, I'm like, Jens, do you see those, like, way out there? And he's like, I'm pretty sure they're running as fast as they can right to us. And I think it was 3 minutes later we killed them. I mean, it was like those dogs. But like, I've also seen it where if it's 40 below out and there's 3 feet of snow, those dogs will sit down. They're starving at 800 yards away or 1,000 yards away. Like, they're literally starving. But they don't want to come all the way over there. They're not putting any more energy.
It's too big of a risk to burn that energy. Yeah, I mean, it's
in case something happens. I mean, that's 100%. Like, they calculate that, dude. They know. Man, I haven't eaten for 4 days. It's 30 below out. I'm gonna have to walk through belly deep snow for a mile to get to that sound that
that might be a person.
It's maybe a person gonna try to blow my brains out, or whatever. So it's like,
yeah, it's like we talk about like Jens and I talk about different things and like different strategies, and like people ask me, I get the question mostly is like, how do you know how do you know it's not a domestic? And it's like, dude, once you've done it a little bit, you can tell immediately, especially with our scopes that are pretty nice, like just their mannerisms. Like you can tell the difference between a deer and a dog at 800 yards because of their mannerisms, which I'll never shoot a domestic, because I know you just know that they're different, but
our first year hunting, we were out in the middle of nowhere. I think we were like 5 miles from the nearest place. Like I'm talking middle of North Dakota, nowhere. And we were hunting some rolling hill pastures, and we were kind of by the road, and this dog, we both caught a glimpse of it. Me and JB both caught a glimpse of him, and he kind of comes up, and we kind of lose him for a while. And the next thing you know, he's on the road, and we're like 500 yards from the road, and this thing is coming towards us, 400 yards maybe. He's coming towards us, and I keep looking at his tail. I'm like, why does his tail curly Q up like that? Like that, something's wrong. And JB's like, you ready? Are we counting? I'm like, I don't, something. Yeah, that's a coyote. That's a coyote. 5 minutes later, we're belly scratching this dog that we named Fred. Like he was just watching over the cattle in the middle of nowhere. And thank God, but now I really I always used to pay attention to it, or I always do. Like, obviously that's what saved old Fred's life there. Yeah. But when something happens quick, like that's a one thing about thermaling is you better make damn sure you know what you're shooting, but there is something to be said. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love killing coyotes in the day, but I don't know if I'll ever do it again. I mean,
yeah, it's just a different, and we talk about it. I went out once in the daylight last year, which it was cold, but it's like it's hard to want to do. You got to hide more. Like I only go when it's pitch black. Obviously, I hate the moon, which I never really cared about the moon other than a hanging moon during daylight for deer hunting. But like now, I wish there was no moon because I can't stand. I can't stand the fact that there's a moon.
You're not hunting at all on the moon, are you?
No, if there's a little sliver, I'm watching the rise. Like last year, Jensen and I went out at 3 a.m. because that's when it set, so we could get out. Like it was like, and we only dog. Well, I killed one before it started getting light, but the one dog we for sure killed was it was light out. I don't know how he didn't see us, but he was begging to come to the rabbit call, But like you got to pick. Like some guys kill them on moons, but I don't want to lay prone and have my vision. I can only, you can only look because you can't move around a lot. So it's like, I want to be able to spin on that tripod as much as I want and cover ground, it's like, but I don't have a monocular. So it's a little different, but it's like the dark moon, I feel like they move more too, or no moon, like they move more, they're
I think they're super aware when it is a full moon or when it's bright out. Like they are completely using their eyes and when it's light like that, where when it's pitch dark, like I know they can see at night a lot better than a human could, but they're not picking you out at 150 yards if it's pitch dark, and you can be standing in the middle of the wide open.
It's crazy though, because like at 50 yards, you can't see them if you took your eye off the scope, but they can see you, like I've had it where I'm standing still and they just know, like sometimes I'll always bark at them now and I'm like, woof, woof, like a disobedient domestic, but like sometimes they as soon as you bark, they look at you and they know. And it's like, how can you see me? It's pitch. I can't see my feet. It's like, it's just there. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, I just enjoy it's kind of like owning the night, like you get to see stuff that you would never see if you didn't thermal. And it's kind of like, and not a lot of people out,
well, it's just, that's what I tell everybody. It's like, you never know what you're going to see.
Yeah, dude,
you never know what you're gonna see. Have you ever heard of a chupacabra? And I don't even know if this is the correct name for him or not. But
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I follow a guy. They kill a lot of hogs down in Texas, and they thermal hunt. And they had killed one, and I googled it. I mean, ugly thing, dude. Like, and it's like I think it was like a Mexican wolf bred with like a American coyote or a coyote, North American coyote. I don't know, whatever. But I mean, that was all at night. There, I mean, there's not many pictures floating around of a chupacabra in the daylight, like
Yeah, dude.
I'd like to
it's
go down
crazy.
there. Would you ever kill a cat? Try count like a bobcat?
Yeah, but I see those. They don't they're kind of more sneaky, and they don't I love when dogs come running hell bent for election, and they have no idea because they're so hard to kill in the daylight. When they come running full throttle, but you see the cats, and they're just sneaking around. It's it's not as
Yeah, so
exhilarating, I would
you're
say.
saying it. I'd like to like a full body mount on a bobcat or something. I think
Yeah,
that'd be.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't pass it up, but it's kind of like the bear hunting. Once you did it, it's fun, but would you get that into? I mean, that's one of the few
So
things I haven't really.
what is your bear hunting? First of all, let everybody know what you did last year.
Yeah, so last year I hunted with Seth Hubbard, who has begged me to apply for 5 years. I'm like, I ain't got no interest in that. Whatever. It sounds stupid. But the day before the surplus, so in Minnesota you apply. There's a quota area and a no quota area, and then the quota areas they have a certain amount of tags per area, and it's 3, 4, 5 points in a lot of these areas to draw a tag, and then there's some activists that'll buy the tags up before as part or apply, and then you got to come time to pay the tag. If they aren't paid for, then they do a surplus drawing. So August 8th, or I don't remember what day it is, but at noon sharp these licenses go on sale, and it's first come first serve. So I'm like, here's the deal, Seth. I'll try to go to the bait shop and get a license. If I get one for your area, I'll do it. And I went down there at 11:45, right at lunch or whatever. And I'm like, Brock, here's the deal from last cast. And I'm like, Brock, here's the deal. I need to try to get this license. If it doesn't work, no big deal. I just got to try it. And he's like, we aren't going to get one. I've gotten one in all the years I've been doing it. I'm not going to get one.
Oh,
That's fine.
He had done them before.
Yeah, he's played the game before, and he's like, the system will crash or they'll be gone in a minute, whatever. I'm like, well, let's just try it. So we log in. Well, here the system crashed right at 12:00:30. It just blew up because there were so many people trying to get in on the internet and whatever.
Yeah.
And so we kept trying to go in, kept trying to go in, whatever. 45 minutes later, he got in, and I got the tag. And
did you sit there the entire time?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm like, we gotta try it, dude. I mean, it's not even up yet. We gotta give it a chance once it gets back up. So we sat there, and he was a trooper, man. He did it for me. And anyway, I got a tag, which was crazy. And then I went up and helped bait once. That's probably gonna fry my nuts, but it's just a lot. It's 2 hours away, and anyway, I left, North Dakota opener, went straight there, and I basically had a day to hunt because of school starting and whatever. And we had some big bears. There's one with a white thing in its chest. I was kind of holding out for that, and by that I mean I wasn't. But if I saw it, I was gonna shoot it. And I'm sitting there up in this tree stand, and I'm and I hear something growling out in front of me 100 yards, and it's slowly moving. Well, it was for sure a bear. It just knew I was there, And then I don't know, I suppose it was an hour before dark. I had this, younger one come up. It wasn't a cub because he can't shoot cubs, but a younger one comes up, and he gets to this opening, and the barrel's here. Well, there was a skunk at the barrel, and that bear couldn't see that skunk, but that bear could smell that skunk, even though the skunk was downwind of the bear. It was crazy. He knew that skunk was there. And so he kind of sat there, and then he turned around and started to walk away, and I fed it to him. So I got that one. And then I don't know, I kind of liked it. It was kind of cool. So you know, a buddy of ours, whatever, he found some bears in a spot and around here. And so I bought a no quota tag. We baited it, whatever. And long story short, I ended up killing a big, nice bear in that spot close to home here, which is unheard of. And so anyway, this year, I think I'm going to put a couple baits up there in the no quota, because you can buy a tag every year down here. There's, but bears are starting to come more and more south. It's kind of, and it's cool, dude. It's a different.
Are you gonna do the up north one?
No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna try for it. I mean, it's just too far, man. If there's bears down here, why? If I want to do it that bad, I'll just. And I don't want to do it that bad, but it is kind of cool to see. Dude, it's just a surreal thing when a bear's coming in. It's just a different feel. Deer get your heart pumping and shit, but they're a bear is they'll kill you. You know what I mean? So it's a different. It's just it was cool. I mean, but they're like a big raccoon. What everyone says. It's I don't know. There's cool. But anyway, so I'm going to try to get that one mounted, I think, because it was so close to home and nobody's really shot one around here. And
so what are you baiting these things? Donuts,
oh,
anything,
dude.
or what?
Yeah, we did donuts, licorice, syrup, and then like I would just go to Dollar General and get like 6 loaves of bread and syrup and like the wafer crackers and stuff and just cereal, whatever you can get that's the cheapest, you get the most of that's sweet, and like, we did donuts, and I got some beef tallow from Jensen, and they ripped. I mean, they love that. So it was frozen, but it's warm, so you got to be careful with maggots and stuff like that, and mold. They don't like mold, and they don't like maggots. Seth said some don't care about maggots, but a lot of them do. So, but it was just kind of cool to experience that, like I didn't know there were like I've deer hunted that land for years and years, and I had no idea there were bears running around up there. Like it's not that far,
So
so.
What'd your buddy think when you killed them? Even though, like, let's talk about how did you get to decide who get to shoot that bear?
So, and this is kind of like the ethics of hunting that we kind of talked about, that we wanted to go over. And like, so this is a spot I've been deer hunting. It's public land since 2010. Jordan Piskey and I were the ones that first ever hunted it, whatever. And I hunted it. I had a chance at a giant, like 170 buck on there. Like it was 2018. And then I quit hunting it because I had private land to hunt, whatever. And so I like would tell people about the spot once in a while that I really, I trust or like. And it's like, yeah, it's not a spot that you couldn't find, but you didn't find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, whose spot is it? I found a bear here, but I don't really care about bears. Now all of a sudden I'm interested in bears because you shot a bear. It's just kind of like, and we've talked about it quite a bit, but like there were chances where I work from home. I could have killed that bear 5 times, but I was giving him the opportunities. Well, then one night we're at the park over in Cyrus with the kids, and we get the trail cam pictures of him, and it was 3 hours before dark, and I snuck up there, and sure enough, right before dark, he couldn't go. I said, "Hey, he's there. You gonna go get him or what?" And he's like, "Nope, I can't." And I'm like, "Okay." So I went up and and there was more than one there, so it's like, whatever. But it was bow opener weekend, the Sunday of it. So like, dude, at that point, these bears could go anywhere, get pushed out of there.
Well,
so it's like,
people are gonna be tromping around there, hanging deer stands or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was already opener, like 2 days in. That was the Sunday of bow opener, so people had already hunted it for 2 days. It's like, I don't want to watch this go away. So I went up, I got him. It's kind of I don't know what to think about it. I mean, but I help bait it. Like we use my boat and stuff to bait it, and like, I don't know, I baited it plenty. So it's just tough, but it's like, what do you do? Whose spot is it? Like, yeah, you found an animal neither of us have hunted before, but you went there for deer. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What do you do? It's like, and then
I don't know. It's a tough situation. I mean, obviously it was kind of like you said, you've been hunting it since 2010.